Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to SFF180. It is Monday morning, July the 12th, and time once again for the mailbag. We're going to have kind of a modest mailbag today. I'm only going to be doing physicals, so maybe about 4 or 5 packages. If you missed the previous mailbag, which was that 45-minute epic, well, maybe you were intimidated by how long it was, but yeah, go check that out. I mean, huge, ridiculous number of books. I think something like 30? More than 30? Anyway, go have a look at that one after you watch this one, because before I get started, of course, we have the draw, right, for that copy of Stephen Aryan's The Coward, that giveaway that I did. As you see, we're doing this very, very low-tech, very analog, very old school. I got everybody's names on little pieces of paper inside this tiny box. Gonna give the box a shake, and we're gonna draw a random name without looking. I shall theatrically look at the ceiling while I draw a name. Let's see. And the winner of The Coward is Amy Caroline Sala. So congratulations, Amy, and thank you to everybody else who joined the giveaway, who signed up for the giveaway. And so without further ado, I'll get this out later today, Amy, so you should have it hopefully by the end of the week. Without further ado, then, let's get into this week's packages. And the first of these looks like it comes in from HarperCollins. And this is nice to see. This is the finished copy in hardcover of Hold Fast Through the Fire by K.B. Wagers. This is the second book in her new space opera series that began with A Pale Light in the Black, I believe that was. Yeah. And what can I say about this? It won't be spoilery. I can just give, the general overview is that the Near-Earth Orbital Guard, Neo-G, inspired by the real-life mission of the U.S. Coast Guard, patrols and protects the solar system. Now the crew of Zuma's Ghost must contend with personnel changes and a powerful cabal hell-bent on dominating the trade lanes in this fast-paced action-packed follow-up to A Pale Light in the Black. And I guess any more than that would probably contain spoilers for book 1, so I will avoid that. But Hold Fast Through the Fire, which kind of, when you think about it, sounds like the title of a Meatloaf song from the 70s. But anyway, I'm guessing that this is either out now-ish or it will be a July release from Harper Voyager. And pretty much everything else I have in this week's stack is going to be in these white envelopes. So I think we're looking at a lot of Macmillan titles this week. And the first of these is the finished copy in hardcover from Tor of When the Sparrow Falls. This is a book by Neil Sharpson, one that I've been very much looking forward to. I believe it is out now. It's probably been out, I think, for like a week or two. Let's see, it goes like this. Life in the Caspian Republic has taught Agent Nikolai South 2 rules: trust no one, and work just hard enough not to make enemies. Well, that's pretty much any job, when you think about it, right? Here in the last sanctuary for the dying embers of the human race, in a world run by artificial intelligence, if you stray from the path, your life is forfeit. But when a party propagandist is killed and is discovered as a machine, he's given a new mission. Chaperone the widow Lily, who has arrived to claim her husband's remains. But when South sees that she, the first machine ever allowed into the country, bears an uncanny resemblance to his late wife, he's thrown into a maelstrom of betrayal, murder, and conspiracy that may bring down the Republic for good. When the Sparrow Falls illuminates authoritarianism, complicity, and identity in the digital age, in a page-turning, darkly funny, frightening, and touching story that recalls Philip K. Dick, John le Carré, and Kurt Vonnegut in equal measure. Ooh, all right. Well, that definitely sounds like 3 very tough acts to follow. But anyway, When the Sparrow Falls looks really cool, and it's available now from Tor. And this next one is actually in from Soho Press, and it is the finished copy in hardcover, very lovely copy, of Midnight Water City by Chris McKinney. I think this is a debut novel, but it says it's futuristic crime reinvented. Anyway, it goes like this. Welcome to Water City, a world of sea scrapers, floating prisons, organ farms, and murder. Year 2142, Earth is 40 years past a near collision with the asteroid Sesho Seki. Akira Kimura, the scientist responsible for eliminating the threat, has reached heights of celebrity approaching deification. But now, Akira feels her safety is under threat. So after years without contact, she reaches out to her former head of security, who has since become a police detective. When he arrives at her deep-sea home and finds Akira methodically dismembered, this detective will risk everything, his career, his family, even his own life, to delve back into his shared past with Akira and find her killer. Midnight Water City is a thrilling neo-noir procedural and a profound exploration of climate change inequality and the dark sacrifices we are willing to make in the name of progress. While I am very much a sucker for future noir, and Midnight Water City feels like it really delivers the bills. So this month from Soho Press. And we just keep going with the white envelopes. Ooh, well, I'm very, very happy to have this. This is the new edition, the new Tor Essentials edition of Shadow and Claw by Gene Wolfe. If you've just seen my SFF Favorites video, you know I talk about the Book of the New Sun, right? It was a 4-volume series by Gene Wolfe. Came back out back in like the early 80s, the beginning of the 80s. Shadow and Claw is actually an omnibus of the first 2 books, Shadow of the Torturer and Claw of the Conciliator. And there are 4 books total, but now they're currently in print as 2 double book bind-ups, right? Okay. So let's see. And the next one will be Sword and Citadel. But this one, okay, this one has been out since June 22nd. And then Sword and Citadel will be out on August the 10th. And it says, Gene Wolfe's Nebula award-winning tetralogy, The Book of the New Sun, returns in 2 all-new trade paperback editions. Perfect for collectors, fans, or those new to Gene Wolfe's masterpieces of science fiction and fantasy. Let's see. Both of these classic works will be making their first trade hardcover appearance in almost 40 years. Ooh, okay. With new introductions by critically acclaimed historian and science fiction writer Ada Palmer, who wrote To Like the Lightning. Okay, so Shadow and Claw available now, and then Sword and Citadel available on August the 10th. So an excellent opportunity to get started on this admittedly very challenging series, if you have not yet. Oh, and this last Macmillan package actually comes in a chunky little box. Oh, and this is terrific to have. This is, in hardcover, the finished copy of The Empire's Ruin by Brian Staveley. This is the first book in a new series, which is a sequel series to his previous series, the Chronicles of the Unhewn Throne, I believe. Those were The Emperor's Blades, Providence of Fire, and The Last Mortal Bond. And then I think there was a standalone book called Skull Sword. And now we have The Empire's Ruin. Let's see. This, I believe, does it have a sell sheet or anything of that? So it's somewhere in here. No, it doesn't. But holy mackerel, it is thick and fat and on very thin paper. So it's a dense little book. It says, start of a bold new epic fantasy series by Brian Staveley. The Anurian Empire is disintegrating. The ranks of the Catral have been decimated from within, and the Kenta Gates, granting instantaneous travel across the vast lands of the Empire, can no longer be used. All right, so it's, again, that kind of sweeping, large-scale secondary world fantasy. And so if you're in the mood for that, well, here it is. The Empire's Ruin, available in July in hardcover from Tor. So there you have it. Very modest week this week, but still full of good stuff, right? So you guys know the drill. Light up those comments. Let me know which of these looks most interesting and exciting to you, and which you would like to see me prioritize for review. Otherwise, if you enjoyed watching, please hit the like button, share the video far and wide with all of your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe. That is how the channel grows. You can also support the channel at my TeePublic store and at my Patreon, where recruits into Mike's Army get little perks like early access on some of my videos. It all depends on how late in the day I get done with my editing, but I do want to thank those people for their wonderful additional support. I use the Patreon money to pay Matt Olson, my enormously talented and gifted channel artist. So thank you all for that extra support. I want to thank the rest of you guys for being the very best viewers in all of BookTube. And until I see all of you next time, Stay safe, stay healthy, and happy reading.